So first of all, we have to go into the menu, the settings. We do that by pressing the up and down arrow and the mode button and keep our finger on it until the gauge changes. Now we reset the device in the first stage by keeping our fingers on the down and up arrow as well as on the set button, and wait a few seconds until we see the green gauge appearing. So now we can set the minimum value. Normally you have to assemble the probe or the level measurement device into the tank first and then fill the tank. In our case that's not possible, so we simulate that you have assembled it and fill the medium or the fluid until a certain level. Now I can set what that level is, from 5 to 25%. Let's say that's 10%. I press set and wait until the settings are stored into the firmware, and after a short while I am able to set my maximum value. I can see that here with MX. At the moment it's 95%. Let's say I would like to set it to 85%. I press set again and wait until the values are stored into the firmware. Next I can decide whether this is a normally closed or the digital output of the device is normally closed or normally open. I choose now normally closed. And you can also define the switching point when you would like the device to change or to activate. In our case, from normally closed to normally open, which would be, let's say, 80%. I can also decide the analog output signal, which is always as a standard set it as A4, which means 4 to 20 milliamp. You can also change it to V0, which is 0 to 10 volt, or A0, which is 0 to 20 milliamp. I leave it as 4 to 20 milliamp, as this setting is very common. And I'm ready to use the device. However, in case I would like to change anything in the settings I've made before, I can always do so by going into the menu, again with holding down my fingers onto the mode and up and down arrow. Now I only need to be very careful that I'm not pressing set or set the minimum value, so I can skip it by putting my finger onto the mode, so I can jump over that setting. If I would press set now, I will override the minimum and maximum value and have to start all over again. So it's very important that you do not, or that you jump and skip settings you don't want to change with the mode button. So now I can say I want to change from normally closed to normally open. Then again, I wait a few seconds until the settings are saved, and I can skip the rest of the settings if I don't need to change them, and change it from a normally closed to a normally open device.